Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing today? I know we are going to have a little bit of different way of doing things. We're going to provide questions, or we're going to be discussing and providing commentary on Joe Biden's first address to the nation, and we'll see how that goes. We will be bringing it live because I mean, who doesn't like a good laugh? So yeah, I'm thinking everybody's going to start showing up here shortly, and we'll see. So yeah, guys, as we allow this thing to build and welcome everybody. I'm hoping other people besides myself jump on tonight, but we'll see what happens. It looks like there's two people that jumped on. As you come in, definitely let us know where you're coming in from, please. Aubrey Miller, welcome. How you doing, Pat? Or Pam, sorry. Okay. Okie in the house. Tracy, welcome. We are kind of waiting to see when this live stream is supposed to start with with all the news going on. I know the White House is supposedly going to be providing it. So, Missouri, Pennsylvania, welcome. Washington State, welcome, welcome. Washington, man. Yeah, we are. It already started. Oh boy, where's they were supposedly going to stream it on the web page, so I guess we'll have to yank from somebody else wherever that stream is. Okay. He's at the podium. Well, I'm trying to find it, guys, so I apologize because they're not. Normally, they have it streaming on here, so I guess I'm scrambling around trying to make sure that we can at least catch some of the guy's speech. So, yeah, Pennsylvania's in the house, Illinois, Baltimore, Maryland, Missouri, Ohio. I know Chicago is somewhere around here, but I don't. Okay, Fox is carrying it. Okay, I guess we'll use their live stream. Well, so much for a live stream. So, okay. Okay, guys. I'm gonna do running commentary, so just bear with me. I'm not gonna leave that guy running his mouth the whole time.
So many had to make that same walk this past year. You lost your job. You closed your business. You're facing eviction, homelessness, hunger, loss of control. Maybe worst of all,
Is it just me, or
watching
Like-
a generation of children who may be set back up to a year or more because they've not been in school because of their loss.
Well, I think his teleprompter's been
It's the
on
details of life
most
that
of the day. So
matter. We miss
yeah,
those details.
I think
The big
somebody's
details,
doing
the
very-
small moments.
they did a very good job.
Weddings, birthdays, graduations, all the things that needed to happen but didn't. The first
Welcome New
date,
York.
the family reunions, the Sunday night rituals.
I'm wondering when he's gonna
Exactly.
say that it was mostly a
Cost
Democrat
and suffering
governors
so many of us.
that locked down their
We are
states.
fundamentally a people who want to be with others, to talk, to laugh, to hug, to hold one another. But this virus has kept us apart. Grandparents haven't seen their children or grandchildren. Parents haven't seen their kids.
And guys, I do
Kids haven't
I
seen
have
their
met this
friends.
man or
The things we used to
Joe
do
Biden before,
that always filled us with
and
joy
this guy definitely does not look
become
like him.
things we couldn't do.
I mean,
Broke our hearts. Too
there's
often,
very little motion in his
we turned
face.
against one another. A mask, the easiest thing to do to save lives. Sometimes it divides us. States pitted against one another instead of working with each other. Vicious hate crimes against Asian Americans
Yeah.
have been attacked, harassed, blamed, and scapegoated. At this very moment, so many of them, our fellow Americans, they're on the front lines of this pandemic trying to save lives. And still, they're forced to live in fear for their lives.
Welcome
Just
everybody.
walking down streets in America. It's wrong,
We will be.
it's un-American, and it must stop.
We are going to have running commentary pretty
Look.
much the whole time.
We know what we need.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's able to
Tell
have
the
lasted
truth.
this long, but I guess
Follow
he's
the
only 8
scientists.
minutes in. So
The science, work together. Put trust and faith in our government to fulfill its most important function, which is protecting the American
he's already
people.
starting to.
No function more important.
He's already
We need to
starting
remember
to.
the government isn't
stumble.
some foreign force in a distant capital. No, it's us, all of us, we the people. For you and I, that America thrives when we give our hearts, when we turn our hands to common purpose. And right now, my friends, we're doing just that. And I have to say, as your president, I'm grateful to you. Last summer, I was in Philadelphia and I met a small business owner, a woman. I asked her, I said, what do you need most? Never forget what she said to me. She said, looking me in the eye, she said, I just want the truth. The truth. Just tell me the truth. Think of that. My fellow Americans, you're owed nothing less than the truth.
Which is why he hasn't said
All of
anything.
you asking when things will get back to normal, here is the truth. The only way to get our lives back, to get our economy back on track, is to beat the virus. You've been hearing me say that for while I was running and the last 50 days I've been president. But this is one of the most
Beat
complex
something that doesn't
operations
really
we've
exist,
ever
or
undertaken
if
as
it
a
exists,
nation
it
a
exists in the
long
minds
time.
of the people that have it.
That's why I'm using every power I have as president of the United States.
As
Put
the
us on a
dictator
war
of the
footing
United
to get
States.
the job done. Sounds like hyperbole, but I mean it. A war footing. And thank God we're making some real progress now.
Oh yeah, we're on
My
war
first
footing.
full day in office, I outlined for you a comprehensive strategy to beat this pandemic. We've spent every day since attempting to carry it out. 2 months ago, this country didn't have nearly enough vaccine supply to vaccinate all or ever
My
near
God.
all of the American public. But soon we will. We've been working with
Oh,
vaccine
soon we will. We're
manufacturers,
going to wave our magic
Pfizer,
wand,
Moderna,
and
Johnson
it's
and
automatically
Johnson,
just going to happen
to
because we're a
manufacture and
Democrat.
purchase hundreds of millions of doses of these 3 safe, effective vaccines.
Safe and
Now,
effective. Tell that to the
At
98,000
the
people who have
direction
died
and with
already.
the assistance of my administration, Johnson & Johnson is working together with a competitor, Merck, to speed up and increase the capacity.
Imagine that they
to
were working together
manufacture
under Trump.
New Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which was one shot.
Yeah,
fact,
yeah,
just
one shot
yesterday,
that's 86%
I
effective.
announced, and I met with the CEOs of both companies. I announced our plan to buy an additional 100 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccines.
Oh boy. Well,
These two
you tell that
companies,
to the
competitors,
100 million
have
doses
come
or
together for
100
the
million
good of
people
the
that aren't
nation,
going to get it,
and they should be applauded for it. It's truly a national effort, just like we saw during World War II.
which was put
Now,
in place
because of
by
all the
Trump.
work we've done, we'll have enough vaccine supply for all adults in America by the end of May.
Okay,
That's
so
months ahead
you're
of
saying
schedule.
150 million people will be
And we're
vaccinated by
mobilizing
May.
thousands of vaccinators to put the vaccine in one's arm. Calling active duty military, FEMA, retired doctors and nurses, administrators, and those to administer the shots.
Yeah,
And we've been creating more places to get the shots. We've made it possible for you to get a vaccine at nearly
a lady that was 38 years old today died after
like
getting
get your flu shot.
her first shot.
We're also working with governors and mayors in red states and blue states to set up and support nearly 600 federally supported vaccination centers that administers hundreds of thousands of shots per day.
Yep, that's 100%
drive
true.
up to a stadium or a large parking lot, get your shot, never leave your car, and drive home in less than an hour.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's tell everybody to get into their vehicles while after they just had an experimental shot, get in a vehicle and drive away. Yeah, you're a very brilliant dude.
Least able to get the vaccine are able to get it. We continue to work on making at-home testing available. And we've been focused on serving people in the hardest hit communities of this pandemic. Black, Latino, Native American, and rural communities. So what does all this add up to?
It adds up
when I took office
to being you're riding Trump's coattails and you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Months. Only 8% of those over the age of 65 have gotten their first vaccination. Today, that number is 65%. Just 14% of Americans over the age of 75, 50 days ago had gotten their first shot. Today,
okay, dude,
well
you're running 10 minutes in, and we know that you're starting to stumble. Come on.
The CDC that came out on Monday, it means simply this: millions and millions of grandparents went months without being able to hug their grandkids.
Well, duh, because you Democrats decided you wanted to keep everybody isolated, and your friends in the CDC and the NIH decided to do the same thing.
Of worship with your friends, as well as travel. When I came into office, you may recall, I set a goal that many of you said was that kind of way over the top. I said I intended to get 100 million shots in people's arms in my first 100 days in office.
Dude, that was Trump's goal for you,
not
the other way around. Sorry.
We're going to beat that goal because we've actually on track to reach this goal of 100 million shots in arms on my 60th day in office. No other country in the world has done this.
And it's all because of Trump.
I want to talk about the next steps we're thinking about. First, tonight, I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1. Let me say that again. All adult Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine no later than May 1. That's much earlier than expected. Let me be clear.
You just said just two. Hold on, Mr. Joe. You just said just two minutes ago that you weren't going to have enough vaccines for 150 million people to get them before May 1st. So how can we all? No, just shut up and go back to bed.
Beating our current pace of 2 million shots a day, outpacing the rest of the world.
And guess what? How many red states? How many red states are dominating those numbers? All
we
of
will
them.
launch with our partners new tools to make it easier for you to find the vaccine and where to get the shot, including a new website that will help you first find the place.
Oh, did the website cost $5 billion too?
No more searching day and night for an appointment for you and your loved ones. Thirdly, with the passage of the American Rescue Plan, and I thank again the House and Senate for passing it, and my announcement last month of a plan to vaccinate teachers and school staff, including bus drivers, we can accelerate massive nationwide effort to reopen our schools safely and meet my goal that I stated at the same time, about 100 million shots, of opening a majority of K through 8 schools in my first 100 days in office.
They should have been opened up last year.
Of my new Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. Fourth, in the coming weeks, we will issue further guidance on what.
And Jason, if you want to jump on and
once fully
give commentary, go for it.
To lessen the confusion,
just check your email.
Keep people safe and encourage more people to get vaccinated. And finally, fifth, and maybe most importantly, I promise I will do everything in my power.
Which is nothing.
I will not relent until we beat this virus.
Beat an invisible enemy with a 99.87%.
I need every American.
Yeah. Yeah. Go beat this, Joe. Just like you're beating dementia.
Vaccinated when it's your turn and when you can find an opportunity. And to help your family, your friends, your neighbors get vaccinated as well. Because here's the point.
Here's the point, Joe. Nobody wants your stupid virus. Nobody wants your stupid vaccine.
Together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout or a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day. That doesn't mean large events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups.
No, right now I'm already on the path to getting booted. I've only said half a dozen expletives, and yeah. Go ahead, jump on. We'll go. I think people love our commentary.
But we began to mark our independence from this virus.
So
to get there, we can't let our guard down. This fight is far from order.
Yeah, he is.
As I told the woman in Pennsylvania,
guys,
tell you the truth.
I don't understand why the heck this guy is even talking still.
July 4th.
I mean, he's listening to it. Yeah, I agree.
For goals, a lot can happen. Conditions can change.
But I mean, come on, this guy. I don't know where this guy's sleeping meds are, but he needs to go back on them. What do you think?
Confidence in safety and effectiveness of all 3 vaccines.
This guy is the biggest waste of oxygen I have ever seen.
He's assured us the vaccines are safe.
Well, if you just tell him that he's using up too much oxygen, I mean, just like most liberals, tell him, hey, global warming is being affected by the carbon dioxide coming out of your mouth.
Exactly. Because that's all it's worth.
The first lady and the second gentleman also got vaccinated.
Seriously, he's so trying very hard to sound like he's coming from the heart, and I want to be there for you, American. I mean, Chinese.
Yeah. I have it playing in the background, guys. I can't. I literally can't look at his face anymore. But I mean, if anybody wants to watch the whole thing, go for it. I no longer have any patience for it. So
seriously, I don't understand how someone can hold up. Listen, I'm going to go back all the way back to the freaking election. How the heck, and I want to use other words, can someone who gets held up in a freaking basement, doesn't go and visit any of his people, doesn't do any speeches, doesn't do anything, gets into that position. I don't get it.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I mean, guys, I think I can. I know for a fact if I was to put on an event, I can go to the same gymnasiums he did and gather more people. In the middle of a pandemic, I could gather more people than he could on his best day.
Guys, this will be a straight up speech of him running his mouth about a whole lot of nothing and him walk away. It will not include any questions. I guarantee it.
Well, they can't. He can't question because the
He can't
second
handle the questions. Yeah.
the second he tries to get questions, it's
Do you think so? This is for everybody on here. Okay. Do you think at the end of his speech that it'll say in at the bottom of the let me get right here, right at the bottom, it'll say bought and paid for by China, or this message is approved by China?
we can only wish. It should. It looks pre-recorded. Supposedly Lester Holt and all those guys are live, and the only reason we know that is because Richard Citizen journalist is out there recording. And do I think he could get himself arrested if he's not careful?
I'll tell you what, he for a guy that is normally as calm as what he is, he went crazy today.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to use like the bat something crazy or the cat something crazy, but he went off.
Yeah, and there are so many people that have seen that video, and it's I was paying attention a little bit throughout the day because I knew there was going to be some crazy stuff that happened today, but I really wasn't sure exactly what. And I'm like, I'm just curious as to what all they were going to put up. And one thing I found is, I think I accidentally just axed the whole thing. Oh well. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, he's absolutely crazy.
Saad, it was actually I think 12,000 jobs, not 7,500. Catnip crazy. There you go. That's a good one. No, it doesn't. It needs to be more. It just needs that something.
Development, manufacture, distribution of vaccines in record time.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
One of the most extraordinary achievements. We also just saw the person.
I don't get it.
Oh yeah, he just took credit for landing Perseverance on Mars.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I have it turned on in the background because I wanted to see what's going on and see what other lies he's going to tell. But I mean, the guy, you notice Kamala is probably right there in the wings, just kind of waiting to see what happens. So,
King Me, I know we'll get to that soon enough. There's a little bit more than that going on, but we've got to cover what's literally right now. And I know we've beat this already dead horse in and buried him and dug him up and buried him again. But how anybody in the United States in their right mind thinks that this man is good for this country is beyond me.
Oh, now he's going to start getting into the juicy stuff here quick, apparently. Somebody sent me a message saying that he is going to be covering the Syria thing. So
there's actually more than that, Shane. I just found some more.
all right.
Saad, or I don't know if your name is Saad or if you want me to call you something else, but there's more than I'll get into what the Doomsday Plane is. No, it's actually at the bottom. The question is what's the Doomsday Plane? I'll explain to you guys what that is. Let me get past this mess that is going on right this very second.
Somebody said it's over.
Throw it up real quick, Shane.
Give me a second. I'm trying to see if it's actually over. Yeah, it's over.
Wow. Question from Missouri. I'm guessing you're from Missouri.
No, Miss Aaron, California.
Or Miss Aaron?
Yep.
That could be. Sorry if I butchered it. I have a serious question, and maybe nobody knows the answer, but if someone takes the jab and goes to donate blood, do they have to disclose that info? And do I have the right to know if the blood I get from someone was from someone who got it? I think they have to announce that they had the shot at this point. I don't care. But I don't know if you get a transfusion, if the incoming blood, I don't know if they have to tell you that or not.
There's certain disclosures that have to be signed. That I do know. But whether they have to disclose that to you, I don't believe so. Because most of the time when people are getting blood transfusions, you're not in a position to object anyways.
Guys, I'm not bummed. I'm a little hot under the collar right now. Every time I hear that man talk, I get infuriated.
Well, I mean, it's they had to clear him out quick because he was starting to lose his steam.
Right.
And if it's a medication that I think that he was on, if he was on that medication, it only lasts for about 20 minutes per injection.
It's almost like adrenaline.
Well, that's basically what it is. Only what it does is it calms his mind down enough to allow him to think clearly. But it only works. It basically works for 20 minutes, and that's it.
Right.
So.
I don't even know if hot under the collar is a good way to put it. I think more disgusted. And, even when Obama was president, I couldn't stand him. I got to be honest, guys. I couldn't stand him when Obama was president. And before I learned a lot of things, okay? And, guys, this is brutal truth. Before I learned a lot of things and knew a lot of the backgrounds, I thought Obama did a pretty decent job from the outside looking in, okay? And this is from someone who used to have the opinion of, why should I vote? My vote will never count for anything. If I don't vote, I'm not going to complain about who's there. That's what my opinion used to be, okay? But now that I know a lot of things, I can't believe how much crap has been getting away with. It's ridiculous. It is seriously insane how much stuff that's been going on. The more I get into all these executive orders and different things, it's ridiculous. It is seriously ridiculous that the people of the United States don't know.
Well, it's kind of like this. When you give a dog a small bone, they're going to come back for another bone.
Right.
Well, In Joe Biden's case, he got a little shot of power as the vice president. He enjoyed that feeling so much that he wanted to run again. And this time, when he ran, he actually managed to secure the presidency. I mean, albeit there was some major problems with it, but according to what all your normal sites would say, he secured it, and that's that, right? And I don't agree with that way of thinking, and I don't want people to burn up my phone at the end and say, well, you know what, you've been saying this and this. No, you guys have been consistent. I don't trust him. I don't consider him my president. But as for most of the country, they are still going to 90% of the country until you actually get to their thick skulls. Most of the country is going to believe that he is the president, regardless of what you believe. It's penetrating the gray matter in between the circles here on the side of the head.
Right.
If you can't penetrate the brain or the gray matter, nothing you say is going to make sense to anybody. So, I mean, the guy's he's been running for office since the early '60s, if not the '50s. He's been in the public eye. He's ran for presidency 3 times, and I guess third time's a charm. The first time he got nailed because he plagiarized a speech. The second time he plagiarized another speech, and now this time he plagiarized a speech and plagiarized over at least 15 million ballots. But it's par for the course for Joe Biden.
Queenie, DFW is Dallas Fort Worth. Yeah, Shane, did you cover the kids that were recovered in Dallas Fort Worth this morning?
Yeah, the 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about the sending somebody down. So Narini, taken from somebody who's been in many countries, been in 127, 16 of which I can talk about. Even though the guy, he's a piece of work. This is by far the best country to be in because we still have the ability to fight back. We still have the ability to move forward.
I think I'm going to go buy a 60-foot catamaran and just go sail the world.
Hey, you do that, and I'll see about getting me a 747. And while you're cruising the world, I'll fly the world.
Yeah, well, it doesn't cost me anything to use wind power where you've got to pay an awful lot of money for airplane fuel.
Well, I'll blow you around on the sails.
Yeah. How many were rescued, Queenie? 35.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Ro King, let's address that. Guess what? There's a saying out there that basically says Mullen Lobby, come and get them. And
yep.
if they want them that bad, I'll take a couple. I won't go down without a fight. So, guys, I'm not advocating violence, but right now you guys have the ability to change minds. You have the ability to get a message out there. We have gray matter in here. All we have to do is take the knowledge that we have in here and help people understand that. Wake people up. Because it is not going to matter. They will start to eventually silencing us one by one and making sure we don't have a platform. We don't have anything. That's why you have to make the changes now. That's why you have to make the phone calls now. That's why you have to share the messages now. It's not. I'm not sitting here harping on it because I think it's just a figment of everybody else's imagination. This is real. This
Listen,
is
guys,
happening.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If anyone is considering buying a Freedom Seed launcher, my suggestion is go and do it now. Even if you can't get the Freedom Seeds right now, go get the Freedom Seed launcher. We never know what's going to come up.
Guys, I'm not going anywhere. I've been threatened. I know a little bit about danger. And somebody asked me, well, if you get shot at, is it going to make you shut up? No. It'll
No.
make my voice get louder.
Real King, you're right. You can print them. They will only last probably 4 or 5
Three to
rounds.
5 shots is what they're expecting.
Right. Guys, what is a Freedom Seed, SEED launcher? It is something that shoots a projectile out of a round tube that there was a bill passed today about.
Guys, it's a firearm.
Hey, your channel, you choose. I'm not going there.
That's fine. But it is a firearm. There's a lot of things that I could be censored for. Guess what? If it's because I said firearm on my channel, I guess I'm in the wrong business. It'll only get better. Yes, right now you can 3D print and steel. I don't know if people knew that, but you can.
It's awful expensive.
Well, I just one of my customers is a college professor, and he printed off name tags for his desk. I asked him, well, how much was that name tag? And he said about $150. And it's just this little tiny name tag about the size of my phone. So,
Mark, it's completely up to you. However many you want. He asked a question, and I don't want to call you a he if you're a she or whatever else. Sorry,
I think it might be a husband and wife that are listening.
Yeah, exactly. And the question is, how many more Freedom Seed launchers I need? It's completely up to you,
guys.
How many you're comfortable with, and how many you can afford.
But I mean, guys, investing in your Second Amendment rights is never a bad thing.
Right. So, I will tell you guys this. So I have 12, 18, 20, and 22 size. If you're cool with it, I'll say it.
Go for it.
Rifles, shotguns that I inherited from my grandfather. And because of that, the age and the condition and everything else, they increase in value over time. It's never a bad thing. They will never depreciate in value. So if you decide you want to go out and buy 4 or 5, you could probably sell them in, you could probably go back out and sell them in 2 or 3 years, put 5 or 6 rounds through them or clips through them, however many you want. And it's still going to be, you're not, okay, maybe you lose $50.
Okay. But Mark did needing help with the wife. I buy all I can, and she has just as many. Yeah. I'm still working on my wife anyways. So
mine gave me the green light. In fact, she, what she said to me? Take the stimulus money and go buy some. Let Biden buy them for us.
Wow. Somebody sent something to me, and guys, I'm going to cover this real quick because financial advice from people who don't have financial reason is I mean, I'm going to ask somebody, if you wanted your car fixed, would you take it to the electrician or the plumber, or would you take it to a mechanic? If you're getting financial advice, do you talk to the plumber, the maintenance guy, the guy down the road that has a fancy sports car, but he's buried up to your eyeballs in debt? Or do you talk to your financial advisor who may or may not know a little bit more about it than, say, the guy that's driving the fancy vehicle that he owes a lot of money on? Or just curious.
Why? What's going on, Shane?
Other channels are, and this is the reason I ask those questions, because other channels are talking about or giving out financial advice, and the way of discussing, like taking Vietnamese money and trying to get a 1-to-1 exchange on Vietnamese money. So there's a profit.
That's money laundering.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I ask, why would I, if you're going to, and I don't mean to put anybody on blast, because I'm always interested to hear what other channels are talking about and what they're saying. But guys, I am not a financial expert. Jason
I'm not
is
either.
a financial expert. We can tell you what we do. We will not put that. We will not say, "Hey, this is what we think you should do." I will tell you,
The only exception for that is
silver.
yes. Thank you. Physical, not
Yep.
paper.
Guys,
That is the only advice I give.
I will not take financial advice from somebody that A, doesn't have the life experience and doesn't really know what they're talking about, or B, has multiple bankruptcies that they're facing or have faced in the past due to poor financial decisions. See, I say it that way because everybody's like, well, you follow Trump. Don't you know that he had bankruptcies? Yes, I did. But if you actually looked up his bankruptcy records, each and every single time he went bankrupt, except the very first time, the very first time was different, but everything after that was all bankruptcies on its own bank. So what happens? The federal government doles out money and they bailed him out. They gave the bank the money and it was going right back into Trump's pocket. So it's just a way to,
He got a stimulus check.
multiple billions of dollars worth of stimulus.
Well, I didn't want to, make that announcement. So, not to get off subject, if you're done with that one,
You put all your money into Mr. Potato Head and look what happened. He got cancer. That was good.
well, listen, I will never, ever, ever anybody to do anything with their money that I wouldn't do myself, first and foremost. Second, my very first statement to anyone when they ask me for advice, friends, family, it doesn't matter. my first statement is pay your bills. If after all your bills are paid, you have a couple of extra bucks, find something that you decide that you want to put it in. And if you want to talk to other people about it to see what that seems like, you're more than welcome to. But do your homework.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we're actually we keep getting more and more popular each and every single time we go live. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you and I work really good together and we bounce off of each other.
I think it's your pretty face.
Are you talking about the one that broke the last 3 mirrors?
No, the one with the mask. All right. So much earlier in the broadcast, Amy asked about doomsday planes, about Richardson's citizen videotaping them.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it real quick.
Shelly, I put all my money into Boomsticks food seeds, a portable floating tiny house, and poultry and rabbits in case we have to. Yeah. Well, honestly, what I think I want to do is just go buy an island somewhere around the equator, so I never have to deal with snow, poor weather, and put up solar panels and live completely off the grid. Anybody with me?
Well, yeah, of course. If you
All
decide to go down that southern Caribbean island, you better make sure I know about it. We'll do our broadcast from there.
There you go. Yeah, no, I want out of here. I want out of here so bad. All right. Yeah, that island needs to be blown up. Seriously. Snave. So,
Richard. I'm sorry, that is funny. Even though it's disgusting, I think if somebody was to actually get in there and actually do something productive with it, I think it could actually turn into something good. But
here's my drawback. I agree with you. Okay. With everything that's there, I agree with you. My drawback of the whole thing is it's so much happened that was bad and known to be bad there. I do believe in juju or karma or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Really think that particular island is going to be not a good place for a long time to come.
Yeah. Sam the barber. Okay, so I would like to know about growing those freedom seeds. Can they be printed? Yeah, they can.
Sam, you can order brass blanks or not blanks,
Cartridges.
No. Brass bars. You can order brass bars and get yourself a smelter. Smelters you can get yourself a lead smelter and just increase the heat probably about another 100 degrees. And you can smelt your own. They make the forms for you to be able to pour them. So all you would need would be the casing for it.
Nygaard's place is up for sale too. But yeah, going back to the one on our screen.
Okay. 3 out of 4 doomsday planes were up today. No, Okie, we're getting to it right now. 3 out of the 4 doomsday planes are up. Let's explain what the doomsday plane is. Very, very short of the long. It is a plane that is designed and capable of lasting a nuclear explosion. What do I mean by that? It can fly through the nuclear fallout from an explosion and survive. It can handle the radiation from a nuclear explosion. On top of that, it has the ability to be a full command and control center for any type of military action, whether it be to move soldiers, whether it be to direct planes, whether it be to be in communication with the ships out at sea, the subs out at sea. So let me take that one and explain that real quick. There is very special technology that you have to have in order to communicate with the submarines that are underwater. What do I mean by that? When you communicate via radio frequencies, it actually starts bouncing off of water and doesn't penetrate. Okay. When you are able to communicate with a sub, you have to have water penetrating communications. Water acts as a barrier for regular communications. And what is regular communications? Regular communications would be UHF, VHF, two-way, digital, sideband. Those are all names. I can go into all those if you guys need and explain those if you'd like. But basically, think of it as your FM stereo in your car. Okay? You can receive signals from a radio tower, but if you go under a bridge, you go into a mountain, you go and whatever, those radio signals start to get blocked and you get static. With submarines, you have to have special communications that will actually go from 100,000 feet in the air, 150,000 feet in the air. It can actually, the Doomsday plane can actually fly in the outer atmosphere if it has to. And it can still communicate to the subs on the floor and in the ocean. Okay. So what does that mean? It's not common for those planes to fly. They sit on standby at all times. There is a crew ready to go on the ready in their flight suits 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's a select group of crew that can actually fly it. And like I said, they actually stay at the base 24 hours a day. So, you know, if you've got John Smith as pilot, John Smith will get his 12-hour shift of being on the ready, and then Bobby whatever will come in after him and get his 12-hour shift. Okay. So there's usually anywhere between 2 to 3 crews per plane. Those planes, like I said, are sitting at the ready to launch at any point in time. They have the utmost of maintenance done at all times. Those planes will never go down as far as maintenance goes. So, yes, there was 2 of them that flew into Andrews today. One of them took off right away. And another one, so there was 3 total in the air. 2 that went to Andrews, 1 that took right back off from Andrews and went east. Another one that took off from, I don't remember if it was Georgia or Mississippi. It was one of the 2. It went straight east. So they are off radar, completely on right now. There's a 3rd one that I think I have found. I don't know for sure on radar right now. Is this one? Then they've got every single last thing turned off, and they're probably heading home. And that one took off from Andrews at 6:54 tonight. So, yes, there is quite a bit that's going on right now east of the United States. Why were they in the air? I personally think that they picked up passengers. What passengers? I don't know. In DC and headed east. Do they normally fly around? No, they do not normally even leave the ground. It is very uncommon to see them in the air, to the point where maybe once a year you'll see them. Or if you see them, they'll take off, they'll do a little training exercise and come right back down to where they launched from, not fly from one point to another. Going across the pond to the Middle East, that's my assumption. However, their tracking is off right now. I can't tell you. Is that good news? Yeah, I really do believe that that's good news. But without going deep into a lot of conspiracy theories and things like that, I don't know. There's a lot of if, ands, maybes going on, and never in any part of the United States or any time within the United States that I know of has there been so many strange things going on right now as right now. Let's put it that way.
Would they not mobilize in groups? No. These planes never fly together.
No.
They can't even be caught in the same area as one another.
Explain that.
So on the ground, like there are only 3 bases nationwide that actually carry them. There, Joint Base Andrews usually has one on standby there at all times. Because that's if for some reason they need to scramble, that's where the president's going to go, so on. There's 2 that are at another base, and then the 4th one is at another base. But when they take off, they don't take off together. They launch. The first one will launch, and then about 15, 20 minutes later, the second one, and they'll split up and fly different directions. They will not stay in the same area. They'll fly completely separate directions because guess what? That's what the evasion book calls for. And everything that they have on board is mission critical. So
it's actually to see 1 of 4 up in a year is strange. To see 3 up in one at one time is winning the lottery. To see 2 of the 3 land at the same base, it's hitting the lottery twice. And I don't mean that as being facetious. It's literally that rare.
Daydream, no, they do not.
Right. They stay on the ground on the ready. Sam the Barber K defines strange things. The amount of helicopters that were up the other day. Okay. The amount of nuclear sniffing helicopters that are up. The types of planes that have been up, meaning the B-52s, them going on and off radar as much as they do, even whenever they're in the U.S. Right. We're talking odd strange, not X-File strange. Yes. The fact that Trump took Air Force One to Mar-a-Lago and had Air Force One down there for CPAC. All right. I'm telling you, it's completely uncommon for all these things. For Trump to not have a TFR over him it's strange. For Trump to have literally militarized soldiers around him is strange. And what do I mean by that? Let's take everything for surface truth right now. Trump is no longer president. Biden's president. Okay. Let's just surface truth right now. Okay. Assumptions, just let's stop talking about everything else. Just take everything at the surface. It is not normal protocol to have a previous president to have militarized personnel surrounding him.
Military bodyguards is not
In full battle gear.
Yeah. That's the thing that I find the strangest. I mean, you look at him arriving at in Orlando, full battle gear. And then you turn around, and everywhere he's shown up or been, there's been a heavy military presence.
Correct.
I was talking to a buddy of mine who actually works down in that same neighborhood. He was a SEAL, and I know he watches his channel, so he's probably going to be calling me later and burning me up. But he was telling me about the increased military traffic around Mar-a-Lago. He said a lot of people are actually very uncomfortable on Mar-a-Lago now that he's staying there because of how much security is there. And they're in your face type of security, not the Secret Service type where they just kind of blend. These guys are in your face.
Right.
So
this channel is a bunch of loose.
yeah, I kind of wish the guy knew how to spell. But
You say Biden will get the checkbook soon. Will he gain control of the military then too? So, without going down rabbit holes, with just looking again right at the surface of everything, when he gets control of the checkbook is when he'll get control of the military. If you want to talk about rabbit holes, we can be here all day. I mean, legitimately all day. There's probably 7 or 8 different
working theories right now.
right of what's going to happen. So should we be concerned? So the only concern that I have in the US is when it was announced that there were bans. Tracy, I can go down pretty deep down some rabbit holes, and not in the live, but if you catch me on Signal, I would be more than happy to. When they announced that there were bans of Iranians in DC, that's the only fear I have right now. As far as continental United States goes.
You take any of them over Biden? Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Guys, I'll put it to you this way. I'll put something up on the Signal. I don't want to go down a lot of them on here. I have respect for Shane and his channel, and my fear is if we go down those rabbit holes here, he can get flagged in some way, shape, or form. You guys are on Signal. I'll try and do a write-up tonight. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. I got a couple things going on. I'll try and do a write-up tonight and post it on there for you guys.
It feels like the Twilight Zone. Guess what, guys? That's where we live.
Right.
We've been living in the Twilight Zone since November 3rd.
Yeah. And guys, I have nightmares about this, and I'm not kidding you. I will literally wake up in a full nightmare over everything that's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, guys, we don't want to scare people, but we want people to see what we're saying and see. Okay, these guys aren't so full. These guys aren't so far out there in the left field or right field or whatever field, in the outfield. I don't care. Whatever baseball reference you want to use. We want people to say, okay, we can listen to them, because sometimes there are people that are waking up and they're just, it's there. They wake up all at once. There are some people you have to dribble on and dribble on and dribble on and dribble on, and finally they, oh, that's what you're talking about. They wake up.
Yep.
The way I do things is people don't like it. And I know, because I get phone calls about it. There are some people who want me to go down the rabbit holes, but we're building up. First of all, if you want to wake people up, you have to get the biggest audience possible, right? Who can agree with me on that?
Yep.
I think just about anybody can agree that is true. We're just, guys, when we're talking to people, if I was to go down those rabbit holes, which I mean I could literally go down those rabbit holes and just go into the sensationalism and all that stuff, and really try to prop up and talk about everything that every other cookie cutter channel has been talking about. I could
Let me
do
interrupt you right there, real quick. Not only can we go down the rabbit holes, but we can bring up proof as to each step down the rabbit hole you take. All right, guys, there is so much proof out there and so many different things that are out there that it makes it hard to believe. It makes it hard to believe, and it makes it hard not to believe, which is why you guys are here, why you guys are asking so many questions. And what Shane and I are trying to bring is the basic truth to whatever it is that's going on. Okay? We're trying to bring the basic of the basic so you guys understand what we're seeing as far as experience shows us. And then you can take what we give you and all the documents that we give you and all the references that we give you and all the web pages that we give you, and start doing research on all these other rabbit holes. There's so many to go down and so many different things to talk about. It's hard to know which, if you're down the right one or not.
And guys, we've averaged about 52 people all night. It stayed steady, and the numbers keep climbing each and every single day. But if it was the very first time that you came to the channel, okay, let's go back to the very first time, and you heard, hey, this world's going to be destroyed and everything in it, and here's everything there is to know about who's going to destroy the world, and you have video evidence and all this, that, and the other thing, you're going to terrify people.
Right.
That's why, for me, it's not about terrifying people. Yeah, you come in softly, then you build up, and you have all the information in between. Because if you don't do it that way, boom, you're done.
Sam the Barber. Go back, I think it's maybe 4 or 5. There you go. Guys, I can tell you some of the stuff about the planes that I'm seeing right now and put it out there. I don't know if I'm putting anybody in trouble. I don't know if I'm guarantee you Shane will get phone calls because what I'm thinking, I'm willing to bet money on it. Okay. That's why I want to say it. I want to take it off of here, bring it on the Signal. Guys, I spent a good hour and a half last night answering questions for people. I spent probably, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, probably 3 or 4 hours going through a bunch of stuff yesterday for people. So I don't have a problem doing it and explaining things or explaining what my thoughts or what my experience shows. But I just want to make sure you guys know there's time and place, and I kind of want to respect Shane as much as possible and not get him in trouble.
And guys, quite honestly, more or less, it has to do with security clearances. I'm privy to a lot more information than a lot of people because I have an active security clearance. So I'm not going to discuss things that is going to violate that, especially on a live setting like this where people are watching, people are paying attention to what I'm saying. Because the more I talk, the more I say stuff, the bigger target I put on my back when it comes to other people. And if I'm delving into classified stuff, guess what? Little red dot in the center of the forehead, and Shane suicides himself. You guys deserve better. That's why I literally keep a vanilla ice cream a little bit and keep building up, because quite honestly, there's going to be a time where there's a crescendo, and that's when things really start popping.
Right.
But until there's a famous movie quote that says, "You guys want to know the truth? The truth of the matter is if I was to tell you the whole truth of everything that I know, not only would I be dead, but a whole bunch of other people would be dead too."
Well, tell you, but I have to kill you.
Well, I'm just saying, not only does that affect the person who said things, every single person who received that same message,
right,
it affects them as well.
Right.
There's a reason I don't discuss that kind of stuff on live, because it is that important.
Narini, I really truly think, based on the things that I've seen, based on the experiences I've had, that this country will never turn to communism as much as someone like Biden wants it to. Sam, I get it. You weren't being a jerk. I absolutely get it. I thought it was actually funny.
Why am I on if I can't say anything? Discussing things that are not classified or are currently going on, and actually explain what's going on behind the scenes, it is a different story than divulging classified secrets. And that's what we're here for. So, but guys,
Peaches, you're pretty close.
Snowden is not a good guy.
I said pretty close.
Yeah. But
Daydream, I absolutely agree with you, and I hope to God that you're on Signal when I do get this write-up done. It's pretty lengthy. Can we play touch your nose if the answer is true? We could try. There's some things I won't answer, and I'm sure there's some things that Shane won't answer.
Shane, how do you? I know you don't watch TV, but are you going? I assume it's saying going to watch the HBO special. I will glance. I will look through it. I'm not dumb enough to say that I won't.
I watched the Vice one.
So
I watched the one that was on Vice.
was it any good?
It wasn't bad. It started off very, very neutral. And then progressed more into leftism. And then they pulled it back into neutral. By the second or third episode, it was way too out there. The first one though the first episode was actually pretty good.
Yeah, and guys, I don't like I said, I don't watch a TV. I don't even own a TV. So yeah, I will definitely take a look at it, see what it's about, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it. But that's about as far as I'm gonna go. Can't get my signal going, so when you put the stuff on there, will I be able? Mom G2, send me a text message and I can forward that over to you.
That, or you know what? I'm gonna write it up in Word anyway.
So
I'll email it to you, Shane. You can send it whoever you need to.
Okay. iPhone is same as TV. Well, not going to disagree with you. And I don't know who you are, but I like the fact that you're sitting here giving me better ratings, just commenting on stuff that you're really not into, obviously. So
Sam, I looked into that, and if there were as many down websites as what was advertised to be, it would be on Down Detector right now, and it's not. So I don't know how much of it is true.
yeah, and I mean, I heard there was an explosion, but as far as any server banks and stuff like that that went down, I haven't heard anything like that for any data centers.
Right. Bogan Villaville. I hope I'm not butchering that too bad. I would agree with your statement. And Norini, you're right. But there is a portion of the CCP that answers to the elders.
Yeah, Tracy, we have a room set up, same name. If you need a link, we can get that to you. A lot of people don't know how to, or don't even know where to find a lot of research, guys. That's the sad part. We are doing our best to provide everybody with the sites that we do our research from. So,
Except for you took them off your website.
yeah, that will be up very quickly. But guys, I do have other things going on, and I don't want to cut this short. But we'll answer a couple more questions, and we'll definitely be talking to you guys tomorrow. So, and then Jason and I will reconvene and we'll discuss a few things that I just got sent. So yes, I will get you guys the links and everything. Any questions that you guys have, comments, concerns? Did I finish the bathroom? No, but I have a customer to help, and then I'm going to be working on it the rest of the night probably. So, who are the elders? They're talking about the top of the CCP, or like Xi Jinping and.
So, you mean actual people, or are you talking about position wise? I don't know actual names, but I can tell you. How do I put it? Okay, so in an Indian tribe, there's someone who runs the tribe, but then there's the elders. Someone who runs the tribe would be like a president. The elders would be the advisors for the president. Okay, the president doesn't have to listen to the elders, but if they don't listen to the elders, they usually get their hands slapped pretty quick. The CCP is like the president. The elders are above them here, and they will go through and try to control certain things. They have more influence on the people of the country as a whole.
Yeah.
If that makes more sense.
Yeah. Guys, we appreciate each and every single one of you guys showing up. You date the videos on your website, Shane. Couldn't find this morning's live on there. Yes, I keep being told to do that, and I promise you I will go back and start doing that. I apologize. So, guys, like I always say, we have a battle in front of us. It is an information war. And the only way we can win an information war is by using our pens and our pencils and our microphones. So you guys have your pens, you guys have your microphones. Use them. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America, and good night.
Everybody sleep tight.